Oh man, I thought I could get her to get it goes. Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the IT Hour. My name is Ben Garrison, technical champion here at Jumpcloud. IT Hour, if it's first time here, welcome. It's the best show on the internet. It's a community show. It's meant to be super engaging. It's to give you a quick update on what's happening around the community here at Jumpcloud. Also some product talk about our actual wonderful product at Jumpcloud, as well as we talk about IT news, and we just hang out like a bunch of IT admins and we talk about a bunch of news. I have a lot of really cool headlines that just came out that I think are going to be a lot of fun for the IT hot seat. And we're also going to do a new segment, which I think people are going to really enjoy. So we are broadcasting on YouTube, and we do have the chat open on YouTube. So if you are on the YouTubes, feel free to participate in the chat over there. If you want to participate better, more better, I don't know. We are also on Crowdcast. There's a link in the video description box. Come over here to Crowdcast because that's where we have our polls, and you can ask us questions in there. And the chat is a little more lively over in Crowdcast. So come hang out. Mo better, as Jeff says. But without further ado, let's see. Michael, welcome. Debbie, that's a new name. Welcome, Debbie. Alana Berland, I know you. Steven, Sam, Nathan, welcome back. Nathan, Luke, welcome back. Ryan, welcome back. Jeff, welcome back. Rob, welcome back. Sinisa, that's a new name. Welcome. Brett, welcome. Jacob, I think I've seen you before. Welcome. Keith, welcome back. Steven, welcome back. Greg, Mark, Jordan, Pebbles, Arunima, Tiara, Andy, Ty, and D. That's who we have here. So welcome. Let's get everyone to say hi or wave in the chat. I appreciate you all coming in for the first time. If this is your first time, and obviously we have a bunch of familiar faces. So we also have some familiar faces here. We've got Alexa from our meetups, as well as Becky from the community. Only 396 more names to go. Those are just the ones that were live. And Keith, we don't have a Patreon yet. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. We have Alexa, we have Becky from the community, and we're gonna just kick things off real fast and get going. And send it over to Becky for our community update.
Ooh, boy, I'm so excited. All right. So, hey, everyone. I'm Becky Scott, Senior Manager of Community here at Jumpcloud. And I have an exclusive. You guys and gals are the first to know. So, here we go. This morning, just about a half hour ago, I made something live on the community that you may or may not have seen yet. And we haven't even announced this, but since it's live on the community, we are going to talk about it. So, shh. No, not shh. Tell everybody. We are starting the Jumpcloud Customer Awards, and we are very excited about this because what this means is we are asking you all to enter what we are affectionately calling the Jumpies. These are awards where you can nominate your company in 4 different categories around what you are doing with the Jumpcloud product, the fun and interesting and cool things you're doing. And we know that you all are doing some fun and cool things. We've seen it. And we want you to nominate yourself, tell your story, what you're doing. There are 3 categories that are going to be judged. And here's the fun thing. We are going to have a community award, which means the one that is voted the highest is going to win the community award for the best story. So the nominations are officially open. We will paste in all the links to where it's at. It may not quite show up in the menu yet, but it will soon. But the board is there. We'll link the rules and everything. Nominations are going to be open now, but we're going to hold off on the voting until, let's see, it's a few weeks from now. It's June. Oh, I had it up. Hang on a second. June 9th through 15th is when we're going to officially vote. And then we are going to announce the awards in July during our all company meeting. We're going to get the whole company together in Denver in July, and we're going to announce them then. So 3 categories are going to be judged. 1 is going to be completely voted on by the community. We really want to see you all show up. Come on. No, not for the widest sneakers, Michael. Sorry.
I just want to say that I apologize to everyone. You can't vote for me. I know. It would be a shoe-in.
The one with all the foot jokes. That's funny, Ben.
I didn't even do the foot joke. That was somebody else.
So I am pasting in right now the info board that has all of the details. And then I will also grab the rules, the official rules, so you can read those too. But please be thinking about this. You've got a few weeks. They close on June 8th, and then the voting starts on June 9th. So you have a few weeks to get your act together and figure out what you're going to put in there. But I expect to see some entries from, yes, I'm pointing at all of you. I expect to see some entries from some of you. So please enter, go take a look at it. We want to see a really strong showing from the community. Please, please, please. So there you go. That's the community news for today. I wanted to make sure we share that. Super exciting stuff. More to come. So there we go.
Awesome. The jumpies.
The jumpies. That was kind of an accidental. I kind of accidentally named them, and they ran with it. I called it the jumpies as I was setting it up, and they're like, "Yeah, let's do that."
You know, it's funny because a long time ago, I said, "Hey, we should have a name for our community called the Jumpers," and everyone was like, "That doesn't sound good." So, but I'm glad that the Jumpies got approved.
Yeah.
For
so
obvious
please
reasons.
Go check it out. Go. Oh, and by the way, you can enter in more than one category. You do have to enter separately, but you can nominate yourself in all 4 categories if you want to. It'll be a slightly different story for each one, but go forth and go do it.
Go forth and nominate. All righty,
No,
cool.
Rob, there's not a category for largest coffee. Sorry.
Yeah, because I think I would probably win.
The categories are, by the way, best end user experience. Let me just pull them up real quick and I will read them off to you. Best end user experience, most innovative use of integration, best business transformation, and community choice. Unrecognized acts, unsung champions. So go do it. Come on, go read them and then.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Thanks, Becky. Let's shoot it on over to Alexa. She has a lot of really awesome, amazing updates in our meetup camp.
I do. I don't know if I'll be able to top the jumpies, but we do have some exciting news in the world of meetups. So for our May installment, I know I teased this a couple of weeks ago, but if you haven't seen, we are officially doing a day in the life of an IT admin, and I'm super excited about it. It kind of came about from discussions with some of you all. So I hope this is kind of a meaningful topic for you. We'll be talking just about the day-to-day in your life, because you're probably curious about maybe what some other IT admins are up to on a daily basis. And so we're just going to talk about what we're working on, what projects we're working on, maybe what challenges we're facing, and how we can maybe help each other through some of those different projects or conversations or things like that. So I'm really excited about the topic. We kick off next week. We've got 3 events next week, and then we've got 3 the following week. So next week, we are having events for the Chicago group, the DC group, and the Raleigh group. Go Becky. And then the following week, we are in Houston, San Francisco, and New York. That said, these are all virtual events. So if you're not in one of those areas and you're still interested in seeing what we're all about and talking about a day in the life of an IT admin with some of your fellow admins, then feel free to join us. These are open to anyone in the IT industry, and the more the merrier. So I will drop the link to our network. All of these events are published there, and we post updates and have discussions. So make sure you're a member, join a group, and register for an event, because they're going to be fun. you'll see some familiar faces, Becky and Ben, myself, Pam and Tom Bridge. So yeah, we're gonna have a good time, and I'm super excited. There may be prizes, so yeah, if you needed more of an incentive, definitely make sure you register, because
are there prizes afoot?
There are prizes afoot.
The prizes are afoot.
Oh boy.
Oh no, here we go again.
Oh no.
Just had to stoke the fire.
Yes, but yeah, that's kind of the update. Also, another update. I'm not sure if I actually shared it with this group, but if you're joining us maybe from Israel or France or Germany, we did recently create 4 new groups at the end of last month. So we created a Tel Aviv group, a Berlin group, a Munich group, and a Paris group. And those have grown organically really well, really quickly. So we're excited about that and excited about our expansion into Europe. So our goal is to kick those events off starting in July. So lots of exciting things happening, and just continuing to grow and build a community. So yeah.
Awesome. I'm super excited to hear about those.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's go ahead. We're going to pivot real fast over into our normal spotlight segment, which is the product news updates. These are minor and major releases, but specifically more minor releases. And these are the ones that don't get the fanfare of a go-to-market or anything like that. Usually like a quality of life type situation or something that just kind of happens under the radar. But still very, very valuable, at least for most people in the community and in the ITs that actually use our product. So this one here is actually going to be released, if not today, then soon. Well, I'm thinking it's today or like first thing on Monday morning or over the weekend. But it's a new Mac policy to enforce NTP server. So this should be released again, either today or Monday. But this allows for admins that to specify an NTP server, which is used in the time server key, and admins can opt to select the time zone. That list should include UTC times for each time zone. So I know that it's a challenge, especially when our agent and your TOTP, everything will have to be in line and synchronized on their time. This here is going to help alleviate that problem. No API change logs, Luke. One of these days I'm going to have it and you're just gonna be like, oh, yay, finally. And you can stop bugging me. But no, at the moment, there are no API change logs. There's in the release notes that happen for different things. They were supposed to call attention to that, but nothing following through on that yet at the moment. All right. So real quick, this is a news segment, and I just kind of want to preface this with this is not going to be an ongoing segment, just whenever we can. But this is what I want to talk about a little bit about feature requests, right? And note that feature requests and their development can change based on periodic sprints. These are some of the ones that have been moved to in progress. Now, this means that the feature might already fit into an already existing feature request, and it will be released during that feature strategy. So, like, for instance, if you have a single request for, like, say, patch management on Red Hat, well, that fits under our Linux patch management, so it's going to be moved to in progress. So we won't be able to discuss anticipated dates, but we'll also be able to say, hey, these are the feature requests that have come in, and these are the ones that we're going to move forward through. So say hi to my little girl. So some of the feature requests that we have here is the first one is certificate-based radius authentication instead of credential-based for ease of use and security. So this is part of our secrets initiative, and that's something that's been moved to in progress. Patch management for Linux was a feature request that has been set, that we've seen its first implementation with Ubuntu patch management. So that was also a feature request. And then we also have, again, part of our secrets management is pushing Wi-Fi settings to devices, which has also been pushed to in progress. And we also have MFA through LDAP authentication for certain specific groups. So having user groups and MFA status for LDAP, I'm pretty sure that might extend beyond that to just some overall work around user groups with MFA. And then we also have some features that have already been released, which is synchronizing more attributes from Jumpcloud into Google in Office 365. That was a feature request that we've already delivered on, and we're still going to continue to keep working on that. And then there was a large number of requests that have been submitted for better billing and invoicing in the admin panel, and that has also been recently released. And that was a feature request that is currently in progress because there's still work to be done there, but it is something that that came from feature requests. So that's pretty awesome. So what is she doing behind me? Baby girl, stop with the bike before you get hurt. She wants to clam on the bike, and that's not good. All right, so that wraps up the feature request spotlight. That wraps up the product news spotlight here at Jumpcloud. So now it is time for the best time, what everyone shows up here for, and that is the IT Trendings rapid fire round. So where's Becky? She just disappeared. I don't want her climbing on the bike.
She is coming back. There she is.
I know. Ben supervisor is making sure that he doesn't say anything not permitted. That's her. She's the one making sure I don't say anything not permitted. But if you do like the feature request stuff, feel free to hit us up on community and let us know. I do want to talk more about feature request information. So that's good. So catching up on some of the chat items. Good thing my Mac's already pulled the same NTP server I'd use via DHCP. Wibbly wobbly timey wimey. Jeff is excited about the wibbly wobbly timey wimey. Technical term. Free coffee and beer for everyone with the change logs drops. Yes. Does it policy the time zone automatically by location? You set from what I was reading, you set the time zone. You set it based off it's NTP, so you force the server to be NTP. So yes, it would base it off of time zone so long as location services were turned on.
Rob likes your daughter's blanket fort.
Oh yeah, she does that all the time. She just builds.
So when I was off camera, you were wider, and you could see that she was hiding under the blanket, which was adorable.
We roast Ben. Hey. Maybe I should Maybe I should make a coffee, right? And call it We Roast Ben. No? Too much?
Maybe we should maybe we should send everyone some coffee beans and make custom labels.
We roast
Ben.
We roast Ben coffee.
Mm-hmm. And Rob says that's why he comes. I guess the roasting Ben part.
Yep. So that way I could send you a bag of Ben's coffee, and you can roast me every morning.
Or save it for Fridays.
Okay. I want a part of the company. No, Steven, you can't get a part of the company. If Leroy Jenkins has a coffee, Jumpcloud, Ben roast could be a thing. You know what? I think you might be right. We got to get a movement moving. We got to get a movement going on this one. I support this. All right, let's go ahead and kick off the.
Oh wait, before you do that, I have a funny thing that would probably apply to this. I know, right? So I'm not sure whether you would be this bird or whether Rob and Steven would be this bird, but what kind of bird would you be, Ben?
Me?
If you were a bird, what kind of bird would you be? Or it might be Steven or Ryan or Rob. Steven or Rob might be this bird instead.
A bird. I would be a peregrine falcon. I just threw out a name.
A mockingbird.
Okay, moving on. A mockingbird. That actually reminds me of a joke that I saw earlier, and it's like, why? It reminds me of your duck story, and I thought it was hilarious. And it was, why do ducks have feathers? So they can cover their butt quacks. Yep, I just streamed that to the internet. The whole world got that one. All right.
Thank you, Michael. He says +1 for Becky.
Yeah,
Becky. I had people laugh out loud. So
you actually, you have Steven laughing out loud, Ryan laughing out loud. Becky, it's Becky will be here all week doing stand-up comedy. All right, moving on. IT trending hot seats. I got a good list here. I think we got we got a good one. So the first thing up is Nvidia takes the first step toward open source Linux GPU drivers, according to Ars Technica.
Oh boy. So let's see. After years of hinting, wow. Nvidia announced yesterday that it would be open sourcing parts of its Linux GPU driver, as both Intel and AMD have done for years now. Previously, Linux users who wanted to avoid Nvidia's proprietary driver, they had to rely on reverse engineered software like the Nouveau project. Sorry, I need to make this type bigger, which worked best on older hardware and offered incomplete support at best for all of their GPU features.
Yeah, so I think this is pretty cool. As a gamer myself, best gamer in the world, actually, Linux games are becoming more available, but there's still a lot of games that are not supported. I dream of a day where like you can game any game on Linux and like you can on Windows for the most part. And if that's the case, then I doubt that I would use Windows really for a whole lot, other than maybe having a more affordable capture card. So, yeah. Catching up to better drivers, open source drivers, without having to use the Nouveau project, which was still kind of open source, that was supported by Nvidia, but it always had it was a little bit behind and lagged a couple of features.
So trying to live up to that dream of actually going Linux forever, huh?
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I could not physically do it. They fit 900 functions into a 34 meg kernel, and I just can't imagine that sort of efficiency. Rob, way to catch up to 2007 Nvidia. Ryan wants to 1v1 me. Listen, I don't know what games you play, but I
think you might be.
Rob says I'm the top solitaire player. You know what? No one plays solitaire like I do. Gaming is the only thing keeping me on Windows at this point. Thanks, Ty. Yep, appreciate it. All right, moving on. Next up, Google announced a bunch of cool things for the Pixel. So it was all hardware announced at the Google I/O convention, according to TNW. So there was things like the Pixel Watch, Pixel Buds Pro, and much, much more.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, so normally it'd be a big deal if Google announced one or two pieces of hardware at I/O, but developer conference and all that. But instead, they announced 6. Oh wait, or 7, depending on how you count.
Yeah, well, I usually count 1, then 2, then 3, but there's one that might not actually be considered an announcement. But the Pixel Watch is now sporting a round design with curved glass edges and silicone straps. The curved glass is slightly reminiscent of the Apple Watch, except, it's round like a watch is supposed to be. It will feature a revamped, smoother version of the Wear OS with a refreshed UI, continuing the Apple Watch similarities. You can navigate the UI with a haptic crown, but there's a side button for some extra functionality as well. Other features include a tight Fitbit integration for tracking your health stats, including watch faces with glanceable information and emergency SOS alerts. The latter is a feature which can automatically contact emergency services after a car crash or other accidents. So way to go, Pixel Watch.
All right. So next is the Pixel 6a, priced at $449. Google's new Pixel 6a continues the company's trend of affordable mid-range devices, but it's a significant departure from previous A-series Pixel phones. Now, Google has typically prioritized camera performance on its A-series Pixels and opted for, now my watch is trying to respond to all that. It's jealous. It's typically prioritized camera performance on its A-series Pixels and opted for cheaper CPU components to save money. But this time around, Google is taking a hint from the iPhone SE, packing its cheapest phone with its flagship processor, the Google Tensor chip, and saving money on the camera instead.
Yeah. A couple of things in chat. Rob says his Square Seiko he bought 30 years ago wants a word with me. Okay, great. Michael, you can game on Linux depending on what games you like to play. Yeah, there's a lot of games on Linux. They're not really like the best games, but like Dwarf Fortress, I played that game on there. Also, the Pixel Buds Pro. I have these things, but I used to have the old Galaxy Buds. It built a custom six core chip to power the ANC. While a feature called Silent Seal optimizes ANC, which is the noise cancellation feature, to each person's ears to improve isolation. There's also a transparency mode should you want to be able to hear your environment. So they finally got some Pixel Pro buds that have decent noise cancellation.
Nice.
It's all about the Timex. James says all about the Timex Indigo. I have my Timex. Okay. I have a Timex from when I was deployed, and it's in that's a storage closet, and it's in the bottom of one of my boxes, and it's still running. And every so often it goes off because my alarm was set for like 4:00 in the morning in Iraq. And now it just randomly goes off, and I don't want to go in there and try and find this watch that's in storage.
Wait, what was there? It takes a licking and keeps on ticking. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Steam runs, AAA titles, not really, especially some of the games that have EULA terms that make use of EULA. Also, anything that uses any cheat, like Easy Anti-Cheat or Ricochet or any of those big anti-cheat games, any of those kind of games. Like, for instance, I play a game called Squad. I can load it up on Linux. I can play it on local, but I can't play online. So that really sucks. Tautronic Sound Liberty 79s for the $29 win. Never heard of it. All right, next up from the Google I/O.
Okay, Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro. Yep. Google announced the Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro, although it didn't reveal much about them, but it did at least give a good look at their designs. The company said the devices will launch in the fall and run on Android 13 because, of course they will.
Yep.
Now, it feels kind of weird to see a company show off a device this far in advance, even if it's only a handful of images. I guess maybe put the leakers out of business in advance. Maybe that's the point.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's the point.
Kind of scoop the scoopers, right?
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna put it out there now, so that way we don't have any more leakers, and nobody's gonna leak anything. Also, there's a new tablet. Apparently, there's a thing that just got announced. A new tablet. It doesn't have a name yet. It's just called Tablet.
Wow, that's so creative. I mean,
the Pixel Tab. I don't know. The only thing that we do know about it is that it'll be powered by Google Tensor and that it runs Android rather than Chrome OS, like the defunct Pixel Slate. Google says it plans to make the tablet available in 2023. So we got a little time, but they have a tablet on the horizon. And then last but not least, if you do count this, is the Google AR glasses. Google said that it has a long way to go before glasses are released to the public, but it still is an important reveal. Ever since Google abandoned glass and cardboard, it seemed the company had all but given up on extended reality experience.
I was going to say, I was wondering about, is it going to be a new glass?
Right.
Available in 2023. Still don't have a 1080p display. Could be wrong.
Wait, is that not 1080p? I don't know. All right. So moving on back to some other manufacturers, Apple will drop iPhone Lightning port in favor of USB-C in 2023, claims and analysts. Now, this was on The Verge that I saw a couple of days ago on the 11th, and I did also see the same article talking about it on 9 to 5 Mac. So there's probably a little more weight behind this now.
So Apple's preparing to swap the proprietary Lightning port on its iPhones next year for the nearly universally embraced USB-C, claims a company analyst Ming-Chi Kuo. In a pair of tweets, Kuo said that Apple was going to make the change in 2023, basing this claim on an unspecified survey, presumably of component manufacturers from whom Kuo seems to get a lot of his information for predictions about future Apple products. you know, this does not make me happy, but let's talk about that in a minute.
We can talk about it. Ku says that adopting USB-C could improve iPhone's transfer and charging speed and hardware designs, but the final spec details still depend on iOS support. So here's what I posted on social media on LinkedIn. I'm all for faster, better, and faster, better, stronger, right? Don't sing it, Becky. But here's the problem that I have is like their Lightning to USB-C cable for a 1 meter is $20, right? And so if they switch to a USB-C only phone, now Apple's going to come back and say, oh, well, now it's going to be $60 for this USB-C cable.
Not only that, but think about all the phone bank, all the battery banks you have. How many of those do you have? And what do they all have? They all have USB, what is it, A ports?
Yeah.
And you're going to have to get those stupid little, let me see if I have one.
Steven says you'd pay for it.
Right now, you have, like a regular USB to plug into it. You're going to have to get one of these little stupid things. And I don't know if you can see it, but I had to buy one of these recently. It's a USB to USB-C, and they're hard to find, right? You're going to have to get these if you want to unless you want to replace all of your stuff that has regular USB charging ports.
Yeah.
It's just a pain in the ass, not to mention all the other things that plug in that way.
They're putting USB-C on the phone itself. Yeah, they were going to make the phone USB-C instead of Lightning is what the rumor is from what I can tell. And it's one of those things. It's also one of those things where Apple's also having their hands somewhat forced in that because of EU, right? The EU policies and regulations that are requiring manufacturers to make USB-C the standard, and that all phones have to have the USB-C, which is good, right, for standardization and for e-waste, to cut down on e-waste. But also it kind of, in a way, to me, it makes it seem like, well, if the government is getting involved in forcing a certain protocol or a certain port, does that make it more difficult for innovation to happen for other future technology? So that's where my hang up is. But maybe I just need to know more about the what they're trying to force. So,
well, I mean, it's the same when it comes to, like fuel efficiency and in automobiles and, pollution and things like that. Sometimes the government does have to step in and force those things in order for businesses to comply. So I get it in some ways. It's just sometimes when you're on the consumer end and you have to replace everything that you have, it kind of.
Or what they'll do is they'll say, hey, we'll give you the cable for charging only. If you want to do data, you got to buy another cable. What? It does both.
It would be fine if Apple would just include all of that instead of, going from, oh, hey, we'll include this stuff to, oh, yeah, we'll include the cable, but now you have to buy the brick, and, just how they've started piecemealing all this stuff.
The thing Mike says, the beauty of standards is that there's so many to choose from. I love that I can fast charge my two phones from the USB-C power adapter that came with my Lenovo laptop. Brandon asked a question. What feature would you like to see in a future cable to replace USB-C? Only thing I could think of is magnetic charging. I don't know. I think USB-C for right now does a lot, right? Transfers at like what? Was it 40 gig? It's really, really fast, right? And it does charging, it does data transfer. I think though that it's not so much about what the cable can do, but it's the technology in which it supports, right? So as we continue to keep getting better cameras and higher quality of cameras and video, as well as just amounts of data that are on the phone itself, I think that having a higher quality of transfer for higher quality video might be of a concern to some people, and that could be something that you might want to consider in the future. But maybe USB-C is plenty for that. So,
well, and the faster charge times too, because you do tend to be able to charge a lot faster, which is quite nice when you're in a hurry and you only have a short amount of time.
All right, moving on. Good talk. Moving on, we have good on time as well. Windows update breaks authentication for some server admins, according to the register. I had to say it like that because I had to put a little oomph to it.
Yeah, according to the register. Oh, sorry.
The
Sorry.
register.
The register. Microsoft is warning a security update may cause authentication failures for Windows domain controllers.
So announced, where am I at? Sorry. After installing updates released May 10th on your domain controller, you might see authentication failures on the server or client for services such as network policy server NPS, routing, and remote. 1 second. She was in that basket. She fell back. She fell back and she was in the basket. Her legs were going this way. Her head was this way, and she was stuck in the basket. You had to be there. Anyway, routing and remote access services, RAS, Radius Extensible Authentication Protocol, and Protected Extensible Authentication Protocol, so EAP and PAP, Microsoft and an advisory published Wednesday. So they're yeah, so I think there is an update for it. So go check that out on the register. The link will be in the IT Hour community forum board after this. But yeah, let's see. And from the USB-C ports on my Dell, okay, +1 for magnetic connectors. Yes. Thunderbolt 3 USB-C can do 40 gigs. IR, if you recall, straight USB-C is 10 gigs. Okay, possibly. I can't remember all the numbers. Nathan, domain controllers. I remember those. Wink. Ha ha. I see what you did there, Nathan.
Hey, speaking of the magnetic controllers, or the magnetic charging, you know, the new Mac Pros, the M1s, they went back to the magnetic connection for the chargers, which is nice.
Brandon, can we petition to make USB-C naming standard not dumb? We have USB-C, then USB-C that supports alt displays, then USB-C with a Thunderbolt, then USB-C X1 upgrades, which makes it insanely hard to compare.
Absolutely.
Yep. And can we also get angry at the person that keeps changing the name of USB 3? Yes, we can. We can throw tomatoes at that person, Rob.
Rotten ones.
Rotten tomatoes. Hashtag no ad. All right, moving on. RHEL 9 features edge management container rollback, according to InfoWorld.
Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9 is set to arrive with comprehensive edge management and automatic container rollback capabilities, as well as enhancement for Microsoft SQL server deployments and new security features.
Woohoo! So announced May 10, RHEL 9 is due to ship in coming weeks as the first production release built from the CentOS stream, a continuously delivered Linux distribution that tracks ahead of RHEL. RHEL 9 will be available via the Red Hat customer portal and major cloud provider marketplaces. If you remember a little while back when we talked about Linux patch management, you heard Josh say that we are set to offer same day for support for RHEL 9. What? Tomatoes are too good for that. Rotting, though, I'm down. Yes. What else can you do with rotten tomatoes? Just throw them away? Can you make anything out of rotten tomatoes? I mean, they're rotten, right? No. It's not like bananas where you take the banana that looks almost rotten and you make banana bread out of it. I don't know. No. How rotten does a banana have to be to make banana bread?
Just only slightly. If it's too far gone, forget it.
You can clearly tell I've never made banana bread. All right, Windows 10. Rob, where you at? Write this down, please. Windows 10 KB 5013942 is crashing Event Viewer and causing other issues, according to Windows latest.
Okay, so some users are encountering serious problems following the release of Windows 10 May 2022 update, while Windows 11 users have run into app crashes after they installed KB 5013943. It looks like this month's another important update, KB 5013942, is causing issues for Windows 10.
Yep. So after installing KB 5013942, users are unable to launch Event Viewer. So for those of you that don't know, Windows Event Viewer is a tool for administrators to monitor logs of apps and system messages, including errors, alerts, and warnings. Kind of important. Microsoft has confirmed that it's aware of an issue in KB 5013942 where certain apps that rely on GPU might close unexpectedly or experience intermittent issues. This only affects a small number of apps. We don't know which ones are said to experience those problems, though, after the update. So, chat depends on how rotten. If they're just soft, that's salsa. Really? Starting to run low on my bag of twos over here. Rob, let's not give Microsoft ideas and adding dots to their KB article names. Can you imagine? It's like KB 501.3942.01 0203.
It's only a minor update.
It's a minor patch to the other patch. We patched it, but now this is the hot fix for that patch. We're hot fixing patches over here. It's great. All right. Okay, this actually came up in the Slack community not too long ago. We'll talk about Wing It, but Windows Package Manager Wing It is getting portable application support.
The first version of the Windows Package Manager was released in 2020. The first final version followed in 2021. It's a useful program to manage software on Windows 10 and 11 devices. Some of the supported features include installing multiple programs at once, installing Microsoft Store apps directly without visiting the store, updating all installed programs at once, or to remove any number of Windows programs and apps.
Yeah, so the biggest new feature, the biggest new feature is support for portable apps. Up until now, Wing It did not support portable programs, only Microsoft Store apps and Windows 32 applications that need to be installed. This changes with the preview release and the upcoming next stable version of the package manager for Windows.
Can I just say something? I always thought it was Winget, so I'm glad you said Wing It, because I was like,
it's probably Winget, but I like Wing It better.
I think Wing It sounds better.
It's like, okay, all right, popular opinion. Okay, you know what? We're gonna ask
because
a poll.
what is it, Microsoft? They wing it all the time.
How do you say? And is it going to be
wing it or win get? Are you doing a poll?
No, this is a different one. I'm gonna add this poll. So how do you say it? Is it GIF or GIF? Is it wget? Is it okay? We're gonna have that poll up.
Let's see. It's spelled WINGET. So
I'm thinking it's
probably.
I'm pretty sure it's Winget, but I like Wing It. It just sounds better. I don't know why.
Yeah, I see what Brandon says. Installing applications is always winging it and hoping it installs.
You see, exactly, Brandon. Installing applications always is winging. You always wing it. Just wing it out there. Wing it out there and hope it lands. All right. Okay, we covered that. All right, so we got that poll happening. In the poll, if you're on YouTube listening, come over here, check out the poll. How do you say GIF?
Graphical inner.
Yes, that. How do you say it? Is it GIF or is it GIF? I'll be interested to see, because you got to think, giraffe. Anyway, I'm throwing a curveball out there. Mm-hmm. All right. Open source community hands White House a 10-point security plan, according to Info Security.
So the Linux Foundation and the Open Source Software Security Foundation, OpenSSF, brought together over 90 executives from 37 companies and government leaders representing the National Security Council, NSC, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, and NIST, and others.
Yep. The plan they agreed on will see about $150 million in funding over the next 2 years, directed to 10 streams designed to improve resilience and security of open source software. Companies including Amazon, Google, Intel, Ericsson, Microsoft, and VMware have already pledged over $30 million. The three headline goals of the plan are to secure the production of open source code, improve vulnerability detection and remediation, and shorten patching response times. The company plans to achieve this by, and here's all the bullet points that they're trying to achieve: offering security education for everyone working within the community, establishing a risk assessment dashboard for the top open source components, accelerating adoption of digital signatures, replacing non-memory safe languages to eliminate the root cause of many bugs, establishing an open source incident response team, pretty cool, better scanning of code by maintainers and experts to find bugs more quickly, conducting third-party code reviews of up to 200 of the most critical components, coordinating industry-wide research data sharing, improving software bill of materials, SBOM tooling, and training to drive adoption, enhancing the 10 most critical build systems, package managers, and distribution systems with better security tools and best practices. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Kind of standardizing and making the open source community a little bit more secure, because I know that a lot of people look at open source as like, oh, well, we can probably just put an open source solution in there and it's going to be cheaper, but then they don't think about the long-term cost of supporting open source, right? And how that can ultimately end up getting more expensive. So having something like this to help managing those vulnerabilities and securities, that kind of stuff, is going to be really cool. So
okay, well, I'm going to just tell you all right now that you're wrong in the poll.
So everyone says GIF. Oh yeah, 63% says GIF
Yeah.
with the hard G, GIF.
So Debbie quotes Steve Wilhite, the creator of the image file format, because he did say in one of his speeches that it is pronounced with the soft G, like giraffe.
Well,
GIF.
Yeah, giraffe. But then you also say it stands for graphical. Right? That's a hard G, so it's
It
G.
is, but because it's in front of an I, it would be J.
Okay,
just
so
saying.
You have GIF, you have gift, giraffe, gist. Just saying. Throwing it out there. Doesn't matter, Ben. You're right.
Yeah, Michael says, yes, I go with what the creator said, even if it's wrong.
You are arguing a lost. No, I'm not. Okay. All right. I'm not arguing a lost cause. All right.
I like what Rob said though. I see it like IKEA products. I know it ain't pronounced correctly, but I'll go with the common version.
Yeah.
But since there's such an argument, Rob, which one's the common version?
This is my job, is to just throw out things like this. And as I said, just because the creator is wrong doesn't mean that we are winning. Yeah, I can get behind that.
I probably go back and forth. I probably say both versions. I probably sometimes say GIF and I probably sometimes say GIF.
All right, so I'm going to create the hilarity poll. So here we go. I am adding in the hilarity poll right now for the best comment of the day. So I'm just copying and pasting some of this in here right now. So bear with me. I think I should. Yeah, I need an intern for this. Becky, get on it.
Oh, I'm.
So, in case anybody doesn't know, recently I've actually had a change of org, and Becky's my manager. So,
where's my hammer? You know, my son stole my hammer, and it's no longer in my bookshelf. Or I would grab it.
All right. There we go. Poll is up for the hilarity for the day. We've got "Can I Nominate Myself for Whitest Sneakers?" by Michael. Yeah, roasting Ben is the best time of the meeting for me by none other than Steven. Apple's in-game non-chargeable phones, just buy a new one when yours dies. That's by Ty Varney. Domain controllers, I remember those, from Nathan. Let's not give Microsoft ideas in adding dots to their KB article names, from Brandon. And I see it like IKEA products. I know it ain't pronounced correctly, but I'll go with the common version, by Rob.
See, he's on mute. I could continue roasting him if I wanted to.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's catch up with the chat. Yep, Becky, doesn't matter, Ben. Yeah, and then there's JPEG, or is it JPEG, JPEG, or JPEG? It's JPEG. It's or JPEG. I don't know. No, Steven, she wasn't always my boss. Thank goodness. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. I may not have always been your boss, but I've still always been your superior. So come on, let's just admit that now.
Wearing the Carolina Hurricanes shirt.
That's right. Representing the Canes today.
Jeez. All right, come on, let's do this.
Because I am a hurricane, so you know. Thank you, Luke. Yep, that was a zing.
That was a zing. Plus, Ben is losing. I am losing today. I'm not getting any plus ones at all.
Nope.
This is fantastic.
I could start singing "This Girl Is on Fire," but one of these days I will grace you with my karaoke skills. But
Rob says, "Does my daughter now report to Becky since she's above him in the hierarchy as well?" Yes, Becky, you now have a new subordinate. Her name is Scarlett. She likes peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and Doritos. And she takes naps between the hours of 11:30 and 12:30, although today she is not napping.
Michael, is that the Maple Leafs? Because I actually also have a Maple Leafs jersey. Thank you very much.
Ryan, for Ben, list of burn centers in the United States. Oh, man. As a fellow North Carolina resident, I appreciate the cane shirt. Thanks, Ty. +1 to Ryan. There we go. Hey, you know what? Go Avalanche. I'm also in Tampa Bay, so I'm going to root Tampa Bay as well. So all you Toronto fans, I'm sorry. It's going to happen. Game 7. It's going to happen. But I'm an Avalanche fan. I lived in Colorado my entire life. So go Avs. They swept the Predators and going on to round 2 to face the St. Louis Blues. So there's your sports for the day as well.
So when I lived in San Diego, we didn't have like the pros. So I was a Goals fan. So I saw the goals. So they were fun to watch.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. Game 7 in Toronto. I think Mike. I think the Bolts got it. All right. So let's go ahead and we're gonna hide the poll.
Whoa! What an avalanche there.
What?
The poll. It was an avalanche.
Yeah. So the winner today is, with 66% of the votes, Apple's in-game non-chargeable phones. Just buy a new one when yours dies. And that's from Ty Varney. Congratulations, Ty.
Go North Carolina. Whoop, whoop.
Ty, if you're in the Jumpcloud Slack lounge, reach out to me and send me your first, last name, and your email. If not, I will send you an email from the registration here in Crowdcast. I have to just download it and get it. And you'll have a chance to get a gift card sent to you. So congratulations, Ty. Thank you so much for participating in the IT Hot Seat. That's what we do. We give away gift cards for being funny. Where else do you get that? Nowhere. That's the answer. All right. Well, tell your friends, tell your family that we meet here every Friday at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. Come check us out next week. Thanks everyone for showing up. The chat and it's always fun. It's always a great time of the day to hang out with everyone from the community and talking IT, talking Jumpcloud, and just getting to know one another. If there's another segment or topics that you would like to talk about, please let us know in either the Slack lounge and the hashtag IT Hour channel. You can also let us know on our community board. We have our own IT Hour group as well, where I post these videos and the entire thing that we just went over on those boards as well. You can go ahead and post in there, or you can reach out to community@jumpcloud.com and let us know what you think of the IT Hour, or just in general for the community as a whole. So we have
roast Ben.
Order roast Ben. Yes, send pictures of memes of coffees with the logo for Roast Ben Coffee. Mountain Dew.
I'm waiting for the Photoshop pictures to show up in the Slack lounge.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. Ready? I want to pose. I'll pose for it. Hold on. I gotta go. Yeah, here you go. I pose like I can't.
Where's your mug?
There you go.
Hold your mug so you.
No.
So
I'm gonna let anybody who wants to do Photoshop. They can do Photoshop. There. I created something.
A meme. Okay, it's meme Ben time.
Yep.
There you go.
It's memery. All righty. Well, everyone, again, thanks for coming. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week, and thanks for stopping by. Ben has been Roasted Coffee Company. Have a great day. Jeez, Mike.